One of the most monitored programs in the world, Iran's nuclear program, was initiated in the 1950s during the Pahlavi dynasty and was supported by the United States. But President Eisenhower planned a program to swiftly aid developing countries in using nuclear energy for power production and other peaceful purposes. Also, of course, to secure American allies during the Cold War. However, in the 70s, after the Iranian Revolution, relations between the countries deteriorated. The program was halted, but soon after the Iran-Iraq war began, it was secretly resumed. A brief reminder about the attempts to reach an agreement on it.
When more than 20 years ago the undeclared enrichment sites in Natanz and Arak were revealed, and a few years later in the Fordo complex, the West began to suspect that Tehran's declared peaceful intentions might be just a smokescreen. 12 years ago, the then presidents of the United States and Iran, Barack Obama and Hassan Rouhani, spoke on the phone. It was the highest level contact between the countries in 30 years.
I just spoke on the phone with the president of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Rouhani, we both discussed our efforts to reach an agreement on Iran's nuclear program now.
After a couple of years of negotiations, the then European Union Foreign Affairs head Federica Mogherini announced that Iran and 6 powers, the United States, the United Kingdom, Germany, France, China and the Community, reached an agreement to limit Tehran's nuclear program in exchange for easing economic sanctions.
Iran does not seek and will never seek to develop weapons of mass destruction. Iran does not pressure regional countries and will never do so.
The sanctions were reinstated after 3 years by Donald Trump, who became the President of the United States, threatening that anyone trading with Iran will not trade with the United States.
Do not pull the lion by the mane, as it leads to regret.
To Iran's President Rouhani, never threaten the United States again, or you will suffer consequences like none ever experienced in history. We are no longer a country that will endure your words of violence and death. Be cautious.
The tension between Washington and Tehran during the first Trump term was capped by a United States strike that killed one of Iran's elite forces commanders, Qasem Soleimani. According to the Pentagon, he was actively planning attacks on Americans in Iraq and the Middle East. After Tehran declared it no longer felt bound by the nuclear agreement, the European Union urged diplomatic measures to preserve it. The agreement returned 4 years ago, when Joe Biden became President of the United States.
We are ready to resume negotiations with the P5+1 regarding Iran's nuclear program. We must also address Iran's destabilizing activities in the Middle East. We will closely cooperate with our European and other partners.
However, no progress was made. Iran stated that it would never succumb to pressure regarding nuclear activities and would enrich with Iran as much as the country needs. So, with Donald Trump returning to the White House, the issue is being addressed anew, using both economic and military measures.